Phonetics and phonology are branches of linguistics which is related to the scientific study of language. Phonetics is defined as the study of speech sounds and their physiological production and acoustic qualities. Phonetics focuses on vocal tract used to produce speech sounds, which is articulatory phonetics. How the sound travels through sound waves, which is acoustic phonetics. How speech sounds are perceived and processed by humans' auditory system, which is auditory phonetics. Phoneticians use the IPA International Phonetic Alphabet Chart to describe each sound of the spoken language. Each symbol sound is distinct and unique from one another, which can be used widely for any language, not only English. Meanwhile, phonology is defined as the study of sound patterns that occurs within language. Phonology is about the underlying design, the blueprint of each sound type, which may vary in different contexts. For example, the sound of t in the words tar, star, writer, butter, and eighth may sound the same, but it is actually different as it can be pronounced in different ways when combined with other alphabets.
The history. American accent. American accent first began as an England English accent. Americans started putting their own spin on English pronunciations just one generation after the colonists started arriving in the New World. They also came in more contact with foreign languages such as the Native Americans, Sweden, Spain, France, and the Netherlands. These factors eventually led to changes in Americans' vocabulary and grammar, creating a new English dialect. British accent. Before the mid-1700s, the English and Americans shared an accent during the initial British migration to the United States. However, towards the 1770s, during the American Revolution, the British accent began to change as non-rhotic accents, and it started to become popular with the upper classes. This difference began because English peoples who suddenly became wealthy and wanted to find a way to distinguishing themselves from the poor classes. They practiced the non-rhotic British accent as a way of demonstrating their new status among the upper classes. Scottish accent. Scotland experienced the introduction of insular West Germanic speech in the 6th century. Both the northern dialect of England and its Scottish form were originally from Northumbrian Old English, but then developed independently and became the official language of the nation. Two speech forms developed within Scotland which both originated from Old English. The terms Scots and Scottish English are used to distinguish them.
Stop.
I am Merida.
Hi. You're creepy. Whoa!
There are differences in terms of phonology in the accents of American, British, and Scottish English, and some of them concern the vowels and consonant sound. Some of British vowels do not exist in American English vowel system, especially those that historically derive from the loss of r. For example, the words peer, pair, and poor, British speaker pronounces them without the phoneme r. Peer, pair, and poor. Unlike American English, peer, pair, and poor, the quality and number of phonemes are different. Meanwhile, the Scottish English itself is the rhotic accent, which means r is typically pronounced. Apart from that, there are aspiration differences between American, British, and Scottish English. Aspiration is the brief puff of air released after a plosive consonant sound, particularly voiceless plosive, p, t, and k. Aspiration exists in American and British English, while plosive consonants in Scottish English are generally not aspirated. Phonetically, these three accents, American, British, and Scottish, are obviously different compared to one another. There are differences in the way of pronouncing the vowels and consonants. American, for example, pronounces heart as heart. The ah sound comes from the throat. It is a little like one is smiling and his mouth is open, whereas rounded lips are needed to pronounce heart for British accents and slightly similar to Scottish heart. Besides, the consonant pronouns are different as well. For example, a girl. In American accents, the r sound is clearly pronounced after a vowel girl, while British accents is slightly hiding the r sound and the tongue is flat, girl. Scottish, however, might use the tat r where the tongue is right behind the top front teeth, girl. Therefore, the different pronunciations are not just like American, British, and Scottish accents. However, it is a regional difference.
In conclusion, phonetics and phonology have a huge significance in learning languages, especially in mastering pronunciation. This is because both of these linguistic studies focus on the sounds of spoken languages. Thus, it is able to help non-native speakers to learn how certain words are pronounced correctly. Phonetics and phonology also touch on the basic sounds that can be produced by humans, which is very crucial in learning another language that is not a learner's mother tongue. As quoted by Henry Sweet in his book, The Practical Study of Languages, phonetics is the study of speech sounds, or from a practical point of view, the art of pronunciation. Phonetics is to the science of language, generally what mathematics is to astronomy and the physical sciences. Without it, we can neither observe nor record the simplest phenomena of language. It is equally necessary in the theoretical and the practical study of languages.